It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we got a beer from vyturys Brewery in Lithuania, and it's the Baltijos Marzen beer. It's 5.8% ABV, 500 milliliter can. I bought this in my local Euro store where you buy all your Polish stuff, and I bought some Romanian lagers, Lithuanian lagers, crisps, different kind of German, Polish style crisps, European foods that you can buy in the UK. I love those stores. They're like, you go in and you never know what you're going to see. You never know what you're going to get. There's all this wonderful kind of, it's slightly exotic, isn't it, really? You go in and it's not your normal Walkers or your Mars bars or your Snickers or your Auntie Bessie's stuffing mix. It's normally what you see in these Euro stores are like world food stores, if you like. That's probably a better word for them. Is like raw ingredients, fresh ingredients. You'll see a lot of garlic, a lot of ginger, and you're thinking, wow, they live a healthy lifestyle, don't they? And look, I mean, they do with the beer and crisps. They healthy lifestyle. 5.8% ABV. I'll be pairing this Marzen lager with Paprika crisps. So Marzen was a beer style, it's a German beer style, a Marzen, and it was brewed for around the month of March, and it was brewed to celebrate spring. Oh. Well, there's another story with Marzen. So there's two theories with Marzens. One is that they brew the beer for March to celebrate spring. And there's another theory and some brewers do this, is that they brew it in March. They then store it throughout the summer and they get it out October, November time for the winter months. And the theory is because it's a darker beer, you have that darker beer in the winter months. So there's two different theories with this beer. And I'd like to know where you sit with it. Let's put this down a minute because it's going to pour on the bar. It's going to pour all over the floor. So I'd like to know your theories in the comments box below. What was your kind of thought of Marzen? What was your thinking for the reason behind the style? Marzen beer, March beer. So we got a 2-finger, slightly off-white head. Good levels of carbonation rolling up the glass. It's a deep mahogany amber coloured beer. I like to use my woods in terms of colours because previously, before I did this, I was a carpenter. So I like to kind of, when I cut through woods and I see the colour of the wood when I've cut through the grain, I like to kind of, this would probably be a mahogany or a dark oak or something like that. The clarity's pretty good too. Very good to look at. Nice carbonation. Let's get the aroma on the beer then. 5.8% ABV. A little bit sweet, a little bit smoky. Biscuity, bready, nutty. It smells good. It smells really good. Touch of licorice coming through. It smells nice that. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Oh. Wow, okay. That's complex. That is a really complex beer. I can imagine somebody who really likes lager, so a lager drinker, they like their golden lagers. Maybe they picked this up by mistake. Maybe they've gone into this kind of world food store like I have, wherever you are in the country, and they picked it up thinking, oh, that looks like a good lager. Not reading the word Marzen on there. First of all, they poured it and they're like, oh my goodness me, look at the colour on that. But it's a really complex flavour. I can imagine this. The reason why I mentioned lager drinkers is because I can imagine this putting some people off. I can imagine if you just like your light lagers and you've bought this, maybe you've come across this review. Maybe you're nodding your head in agreement. You've drunk some of this and you're thinking, ooh, I'm not sure on this. It's quite complex. Any old irons about? Any old irons about this morning? Scrap metal prices are through the roof. He's hunting round for Doris's old cooker. It's biscuity and it's bready and it's nutty. It is. But there's lots of kind of spice flavours coming through in this, and it's quite licorice flavoured. There's a big licorice flavour that just rolls through here. Rolls through the flavour. And then it's left with this kind of bitterness on the back end. It's quite complex. If you're just used to drinking regular light lager, then maybe you struggle, maybe you're interested, maybe you're looking at this beer and you're like, actually, I quite like this. And you just do a little bit of kind of typing on your keyboard and you may have found your way to this beer review. But the question is, do I like it? I do. Now, I've drunk plenty of German Marzens. What I think very cleverly Vyturys have done here is that they've managed to produce a Marzen that's, I don't want to use the word mass produced, but they've come up with a recipe for a Marzen here that is quite easily replicated for them on a big scale. What I mean by that is, you think of Brewdog Punk IPA when you first tried it 10 years ago, and you think of what Punk IPA is today. You can buy Punk IPA now in Lidl, Aldi, every single supermarket. You can buy it in Home Bargains. It's literally everywhere. Whereas, you know, when you produce an IPA of that scale, it's going to have that kind of like, it's not going to be one of the best IPAs out there, is there? Brewdog's Punk IPA. It's going to be a generic IPA for the masses. Well, this is probably the Marzen for the masses. It's been produced. If you put this up against an authentic German Marzen, this would struggle. I guarantee this would struggle. It just... Why would it struggle? It doesn't have the mouthfeel. It's slightly thin. It's complex enough. There's some dark malts coming through. There's some licorice. There's some spiciness and pepperiness. But you can tell the base beer's pretty cheap. I mean, it's almost like I'm picking on it. I'm not picking on it. It's a good beer. It's a good beer for the price point. I don't think this can was even £2. I don't even think it was £2. And to get a 5.8% ABV Marzen for about £2, you're getting what you pay for, aren't you? If you were drinking an authentic German Marzen now, you'd have more kind of rich, biscuity, bready, nutty flavours coming through. There is a certain amount of nuttiness coming through, but it's on the lighter side. But good lacing. It's a very, you know, for the money, it's a decently priced drink. Let's see what it's like with the X Cut Papryka. Lorenz Crunchips. These were about £2 a bag as well. 150 grams. Now, I like paprika crisps because paprika is used to colour every single kind of darker crisp. It won't colour your cheese and onions or your salt and vinegars or your ready salteds. But if you have like a barbecue rib flavoured crisp or a beef flavoured crisp, then to get that dark colour, they use paprika. So just to have a plain paprika, how many times have you bought a barbecue beef crisp and it's looked like this? It's because it's paprika. And I quite like just a plain paprika crisp. So good. Paprika is such a lovely flavour on a crisp. They're nicely salted. Good quality potato. Lovely. Oniony as well. And I'm just reading on the back there's onion powder. Almost like cheese and onion. They're very good. I've mentioned it in a few previous reviews now. Crisp stuck in my teeth. But what I'm mentioning here is one of my favourite pastimes is to get a beer, any beer really, and grab a bag of crisps. I love to put crisps and beer together, sit in the garden, sit and enjoy. Birds singing, sun shining, absolutely wonderful. One of my favourite pastimes. So this Marzen then, Baltijos Marzen style beer from Lithuania. Good head retention, good lacing on the glass. It's a cheaper Marzen, but it's okay. It's okay. It's on the sweeter side. No, I was going to say, no, I think it's more than a 6. I'm going to say 7 out of 10. In my honest opinions, 7 out of 10 for the beer. The paprika crisps, they're just lush. I just love. I'm a crisp monster. If I see a hot dog van and a lay-by, I pull over. I have a hot dog. If I see a good bag of crisps, I go and buy that good bag of crisps. I don't hold back in life. I enjoy life. I really do. The crisps are a very nice 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 from Real Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.